All right, let's get started on part two. As I've mentioned last time, I've already got a version of the effect that is already made, kind of like on a cooking show. So today in this lesson, we're going to be doing the second part of the effect over here, where Serge is just charging up right before he shoots the photon beam, which will be this. So let's get started. Let's move this window over here. I like to keep it open on my other screen so I have a reference. Um, we're going to create a new particle system at the base of our scene. It will be an entirely new system, independent from what we've created before. And the reason we do it this way is so that we can control the timing between those two elements separately later in a timeline. So we'll call this PS underscore Chrono Cross underscore, and I'll call it Photon Beam Charge 01. And let's disable everything underneath because we're going to be using this as a parent. And we'll create our first particle system underneath. We will call Charge Center. All right, so let's just have our particle system play. And yeah, if you have the other particle system of the element effect over there, you can just click on it and click stop. It will disappear. Now you can focus on this effect. Um, well, actually, yeah, before we start, let me just give me a second. I'll show you what it looks like in the reference. All right. So there are these circle elements with an outer blue layer that keeps shrinking towards the center. If I scroll slowly through it. It's hard to see with the frame rate when I'm moving like that. Well, they're either shrinking towards the center or expanding from it. It's hard to see because the frame rate is so low. And then, well, we have the center over there. And at one point, that center sort of has some texture to it. So we'll start with the outer layer, just the simple glow that's around. So we already have a material back here that is called Chrono Cross Glow. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like this, but in the effect, the color is a bit different. So I'll just duplicate my glow by pressing Control D on my keyboard. And then all we have to do is change the number over here to change the color. So I will apply the glow to my particle first before I do any tweaks. And now I will try 0.95 maybe. Yeah, I like 0.95. Can always change this later anyway. Now let's focus on the movement of the particle. Right now, we don't need the shape, we just need it to be at one point. We don't need any speed, we just need it to stay at the center. And lifetime, we'll give it a lifetime of 0.75 for now. And let's give it a size over life that shrinks like this. Now we have this kind of strobing effect. And I guess we could move the start size a bit higher, maybe 3. And it's probably emitting too many particles at once. Let's emit half of them. All right, got a sort of pulsating effect right now. And something else that we need to also tweak is right now Right now it just pops into existence, but let's make it so that it's invisible as it spawns. All right, this is looking good. Can tweak those values. I'll just increase the alpha so it doesn't fade out too quickly. Maybe I can play with my curve as well, my size over lifetime curve. What if I had something a bit more smooth? Oh yeah, I like this. All right. Something you might have noticed in my previous video when I was showing the full effect, at one point the camera gets really close to the effect and it scales down because of that max particle size thing over here, and it was kind of messing with the ratio between the size of the different elements. So I'll just put a max value of like 10 to make sure that when the camera is closer, it doesn't shrink. All right, so that's it for the first element. Um, Next one is gonna be I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna show it here. Next one is gonna be that part over here at the center. So the effect, that part of the effect already looks a lot like what we have on the ground for this one. Only the movement is inverse. Instead of going outwards, it goes inwards. So in order to be able to change the direction of that thing, we're gonna have to create a new material. I'll just duplicate this, Control D. I'm gonna call it Photon Beam. And a good name for it, I'll call it noisy. No, it's like energy gathering, but I'll call it yeah, okay, noisy energy, for a lack of a better name. Okay, and you know what? Um, we already have this particle over here. It has the right mesh, the right everything. We just need to change the material. So I'll just duplicate our ground base from our part one of the effect. I'll move it here. Just make sure to click stop on that other effect. All right, and also disable show only selected. So now we have this effect over there. Uh, how do we make it face the camera? It's over here in the renderer. Instead of local, you put it to facing. And now we don't see anything because we need to tweak the 3D rotation. Because right now it's oriented in a way that makes us see only the edge. We just need to give it a 3D rotation to face the camera like this. Now let's put this to 0, 0, 0. That's why it's so nice to have a parent that holds everything. The parent is here, but everything underneath, we can just put it at 0 to have them overlap with each other in the right location. And let's change the size of this thing. It's a bit uh, big right now. Actually, I'll keep this as a reference over there. Sorry about that. All right, restart. I'll just have a drink of water. All right, that's much better. Okay, so our character would be approximately this tall over there. Maybe we can make the charge center a bit bigger, maybe size of 4. Actually, let me see what I had in my other project. Start size was, yeah, it was indeed going to a size of 4. But there was something else going on here. But let's go back to it. Uh, we'll make the emitter last for 2.5 seconds. After 2.5 seconds, it stops and then it just waits for the last particle to die. But if we want to give it a sense that energy is gathering, we can, in the start size, and this is different than size over life, we can animate the start size so that the maximum size that a particle will reach, depending on this curve over here, will be relative to the start size when it spawns. So our duration is 2.5. So if we change this to a curve and we, for example, put it like this, at 0 seconds, it will have a size, any particle that spawns here will have a size of 0. And at 2.5 seconds, which is where the end of our curve is, the start size of the particles will be 4. Obviously, we don't want to spawn anything with a size of 0 because what's the point of that? We're not spawning anything. But let's just have a curve like this. Now, as you can see, you have this effect where you have some kind of progression into it. And I'm just gonna tweak that curve a little bit so that it looks like this. Alright, yeah, I like this. Okay, and now the ground base. Let's let's play with our values a bit. Life. I made it. Then our ground base. We're gonna have to, yeah, noisy energy. We need to actually assign the new material we created. Okay. And then in our main speed over here, main text speed, let's put a positive value instead of a negative, and now the effect is inversed. In in the reference, as the effect is playing, there's kind of a rotation going on with whatever element is there. It's like this element carries on once the beam is also shooting. So we can put a value in the horizontal movement over here, 0.2. Let's make this faster. All right. And our color, we can boost our color to be higher than white so that it starts glowing. About a value of makes the color get completely washed out. But if I make the size a bit small, so now we need to balance out like one element from another. Try some numbers. All right, you know what? I'll just exactly look at what I had in my project. I don't feel like doing this exploration again. Because yeah, as you're probably noticing right now, there is a lot of stuff going. Alright, so this is what the curve looks like in the original project. So I was also making it fade out as it was getting smaller. And I had a random value between 0.6 and 0.75, meaning that some particles don't last as long, so it creates a sort of incoherence, like the effect is not perfectly timed. almost like you know, like the energy is not out of control, but he's trying to keep it under control. So like doing that thing. Check all my values. You know what? Screw this. I'm just gonna give it the same color as the rest. Yeah. And that curve that we have here, I'm gonna use it for start lifetime. This is what's this is something that's messing up my stuff, that's for sure. Lifetime of also, yeah, a curve for its size. This, but we were, yeah, 4 is big. Just gonna change the value here. Big. And oh yeah, of course, our spawn rate. There we go. Now it's starting to look like something. Now, if we go here, our final particle spawns at 2.5, can last for 0.75 seconds, which means the effect lasts until 3.25 seconds. So here, our last particle is gonna last 1 second. Let's just try it on them. Yeah, that kind of works. Let's tweak material. What if I change styling? I think I like it as it's already that. Yeah, a low brightness. Try to have it blend a bit center. Start from a bigger size too. Give it a size overlap. Also, color over life. Make it more smooth. Just remove that. Oh, now the balance has changed. Let's move back up. And I want these. Alright, I like how the whole thing blends now. Okay, so that will be it for now with this element. The next thing that we need is those bubbles over here that are gathering towards the center. So we already have some bubbles over there, energy bubbles, in our element charge effect. So we'll just duplicate these ones. Okay, so over there. Let's center them to our effect so that their transform is right over here. And we will give them a different shape from the cone. We'll give them a sphere because we want them to spawn from a spherical shape. We'll remove the velocity over lifetime. We don't need this. And now what's nice about a sphere is if you give a speed in a sphere, it moves outwards like this. But if you give it a negative speed, they move inwards like that. And with our shape, what we're going to do is in our radius thickness, we can change that value over here so that um, so that the particles will spawn from that outer layer over here rather than spawning from anywhere within the circle. So now all we gotta do is tweak that speed over here, -2. Okay. And I'm gonna make it so that the more that the energy gathers, the faster the particles spawn. So let's say I would like my maximum spawn rate to be 30, but I'll change this into a curve and it's here. So at first it will spawn 10 particles per second, but as we move along the duration of the emitter, which is 2 seconds for now, we might change this actually. Let's put it to 2.7 seconds. As we move through the duration of the particle system, it will spawn more and more particles. Like that, yeah. And we're gonna do this progression thing with more than one element. For example, also gonna do it for our start speed. So we'll change this for a curve. Let's change the value over here to 6. 6 won't be our final value. -6 will. So I will put my final curve over here because we're dealing with negative values right now. And I'll put this approximately. So now they start slow and then they start moving very fast. But at the same time, as we're doing this, of course, some of the particles are flying through and getting past the center of the effect. So in order to go around that, we also need to change our lifetime over time. So let's put it to a curve. Let's give it a value of 1 for the beginning, and then let's just play with this value a bit to see what the right ratio is. I think I hit it right off the bat. Yeah. Maybe maybe they don't have time. Yeah, some of them at the end don't even have time to reach the center. So giving them a bit more life allows them to reach the center before they disappear. Yeah, that seems to be working pretty well. All right, so those energy bubble things, they appear to have like a reddish color or kind of orange, depending on. Yeah, so we'll give them that same color. So we're gonna need another material again. Call them energy bubbles. O2. Now let's go here. Let's assign the material. Let's click restart. Let's click pause. And now let's edit our material. And I think the value we need is 0.8. I'll double check with my other project just to make sure we don't lose time. Yeah, 0.8. There is something else happening that is kind of weird. I think it's due to this. Yeah, our color over life. Let's have it like this. Maybe bit sooner than that. I think some of them are not fast enough at the beginning. I'll change this curve. Yeah. Just, let's just tweak with these settings. Yeah, I can see a lot of them actually passing right through. Yeah. Speed, this is the lifetime. Tweak the lifetime a bit. Yeah, I guess that's good. All right. So we have this. Let's play our whole effect again. Let's just take a look at it. All right. Our next element will be actually something that I decided to add on top of the effect to make it flashier. It's these swirls of energy that are gathering towards the center. You can sort of like feel some kind of vacuum effect, like maybe I shouldn't do these sound effects. I don't know how it's gonna sound later in the editing. Maybe it's gonna look weird, sound weird. So anyway, let's do that thing. We don't really have an effect that looks like it. Well, actually, our energy swirls over here. Yeah, let's grab some of those energy swirls. Control D, bring it here. I work a lot by duplicating existing stuff I've already done and then doing the necessary tweaks. I love working that way. Energy swirls. I think the word still fits and keep it. We can leave it with that same name, energy swirls. And oh, you know what? I'll call them gathering swirls because they gather at the center. All right, gathering swirls. And now we're gonna have to give it the right mesh. And yeah, you can just click here and it shows you, it brings you to the folder where the meshes are. And you can click them all until you find the right one. Yeah, this is what we're gonna be using. So, ready swirl. So we'll assign a ready swirl over here. You can see they are huge and not quite behaving like we want them to. Let me stop that effect back there. Okay. So, let's do the necessary tweaks that we need in order for this effect to look nice. Right now it can spawn with a random rotation between 0 and 360 only in the y-axis. Let's put 360 in all three axes. So now any of the swirls can spawn at any of the rotations possible. And I'm just gonna go ahead and look at the other project, see how I did the material for that one. I'm gonna duplicate this one, duplicate the material. I'm gonna call it Photon Beam Gathering Swirls. Oh, one. Gonna go assign the material over there. And now it's time to give it the right textures. So for this one, I was using, not this one, the Organic Noise O3. This one has the top and bottom already built in with some fading effect. And then we're gonna use the vertical gradient over here. So this texture, pretty much like this one that we already had before, is set to clamp, meaning that when it moves from left to right, we end on a black pixel. And the reason the texture looks like this is pretty much depending on the tiling that we give it, we can choose one row that fits with like the fall off of the transparency as the texture is scrolling through it. So let's go back to our texture and we'll just skip ahead to the value that I used, which was 1 and 0. I didn't have to do much searching, that's all there was to it. 1 and 0. In the random stable strength Y, make sure it's set to 0 as well, because if you put it to any other number, you're gonna have some randomness the in the position of this texture over here, which we don't want because we want to make sure that the black outlines fit with the edges of the mesh. That's why you kind of see a sharp edge over here. And then as you can see from the angle that we're in, like it seems like the center is where it fades. So I'll just put a 0 and wait, what? Oh, yeah, our tiling is set to 0.5. We'll put it to 1. And we have a speed. So right now our texture is scrolling through it. Remove the vertical speed. Now vertically the texture is always perfectly positioned with this. So now it's a bit smoother. Over here I'm gonna put a value of 2 for the scrolling, value of 2, I mean for the tiling, and a value of 2 for the movement, for the panning of the texture. So now let's go here, our gathering swirls. They're moving pretty crazy. Let's just remove the rotation over lifetime for now and see what it looks like. Not quite there yet, but you can see the effect. You can start to feel the intention of what it's supposed to do. Um, what else do we need? Use Fresnel this on. Okay, this is good. All right, now it's time to tweak the particle system. Okay, emission. Yeah, I want some particles to spawn, at least just one. As soon as the effect starts, I want one of those to spawn. Is there a delay in there? No delay. Okay. Let me just try to see what's going on. Where is? Okay, see over here it says particle 1. As soon as I click play, it says that there is one particle present, and now there are 2 of them. It seems like we don't see them at all till the number says. Probably has something to do with our custom data over here, which controls the scrolling of the mask. Um, yeah, we have a value of 3. It goes from -3. Maybe that's why. Let's let's have something like this from -1 to 1. Oh yeah, this is looking much better now. Sorry for my porn voice. When I see nice VFX, I go like, oh yeah. All right. Okay, so we've got these energy swirls gathering there. And just like with the energy bubbles, which speed up over time and die faster by the same time, we're gonna do the same thing with the gathering swirls. So we'll change the emission over time so that more and more of them spawn. We'll give it a curve and we'll change the maximum to 10 and we'll have them spawn straight line. Yeah, you by the way, when you see me moving a curve and then like it looks like this handle over here is making it have a weird shape all of a sudden. You can just click one of those straight lines and now your handle is automatically set to straight. It's kind of like a shortcut. You click here and then you do your curve. All right. We're gonna do the same thing with our lifetime. We're gonna decrease it over time so that it's faster and faster. And what I mean by this is um, right now, our lifetime is set to 1.5 seconds, right? That means it takes 1.5 seconds for the movement to go from the far end and reach the center, the movement of the swirly texture. And if I would make the lifetime faster, now it takes less time, right? It's a lot faster. So we're gonna give it as a value of 1. And you know what? Before we do anything else, wait. Our start size doesn't have to have these weird values. It can be constant for now. Yeah, I thought they had a weird ratio. That's because they were being stretched and squashed in weird directions. So let's change our start lifetime to a curve. And our curve is gonna look something like this. All right. And the start size, same thing. They will start smaller. And yeah, they are pretty big right now. I think 0.5 is a good final value. We'll have them start over here at point 0.15 or something. And yeah, I know it looks weird like this. Ah, yeah, there is something weird. They have a shape, which means they don't necessarily gather all at the center spot because some of them are spawning elsewhere. If I remove the shape, now they are all ending at this one precise location. Yeah, all right. And let's see what it looks like already. It's getting there. Um, looks kind of weird still. It's like some of them spawn with rotation that I don't like or something. Let me see what I did over there. The start color, I also animated this so that the first few swirls that appear are more faded. All right. Um, this is the color over life that I have on the other project. So I'll just give them the same thing like this. Looks a bit more smooth now. And we have a rotation over life. Actually, there's no size over life. We don't need a size over life. Yeah, what was the size doing? Oh, it had all these weird values. Yeah, that's looking much better. All right, and yeah, I said that we were gonna use a rotation over life. We removed it earlier. Oh, you know what? Never mind, we don't need it. Looks good like this. All right, now we just need to work on the end of the effect. Because right now, looks pretty good. But when the effect ends, some of the elements are just like shrinking down or something, but it needs something else to say like, boom, okay, the effect is ready now. So that's what we're gonna be working on now. We're gonna add some kind of glow to say like the effect is ready now. I'll just copy my charge center and I'll call it ready center. Now our effect, yeah, our last particle spawns at 2.5 seconds. We'll give this one a delay of 2.6 seconds because, yeah, 2.5, you know what? There's no because. The only because there is because I tested it before on my other project. Rate over time, there is none, and we'll give it a burst. So now if we click this, well, we don't see it because we haven't changed anything. But for example, if I go in my size over lifetime, if I make the size bigger, we don't need a curve anymore. I'll just make it 10. All right. Boom. All right. There it is, our final particle. All right. Lifetime of 0.75. Start size will be 4. We'll put this one to maximum opacity for now. We might change it afterwards, but it seems right for now. And doesn't need velocity. Our color will have the exact same curve. And our size over life will make this particle sort of have a big scaling up like this. Flat, and then I'll right click here, add a new curve. So what the particle will do is it will grow big and then shrink really fast to sort of swallow the effect, if I could say. Let's try it like this. Kind of works. I think I can just tweak those values a bit. Maybe if I put it like this. I'll break this curve like that. Yeah, that kind of works. I would like to have a bit more I would like the size to hang a bit longer before it swallows everything. So that's why I'm adding this key over here. It will stay big just a tiny bit more time before it disappears. Now it's like we're doing surgeon work. We're just tweaking stuff until it feels right. There isn't exactly like exact science behind this. We just need to tweak the values until we're satisfied. Maybe if I give it a tiny delay, tiny bit more delay. Oh, wait, what the hell? 2.7, not 0.7. 2.65. Okay, I will change that curve a bit more. That hanging effect, I will accentuate it even more. Be something like this. Oh yeah, it's looking good. I'll put this back to 2.6. 2.65 seemed to be better. Make it, yeah, I'll make it fade even faster. Something like that. Oh yeah, this is looking very good now. Okay, I like this. Perfect. And yeah, there is, you know what? Let's save our project. Okay, and we need an extra element, which will be named Ready Ring. And I'll show you what it is exactly. It's this ring over here. It also has a delay, and at the end, this ring shrinks down as the other particle is also being swallowed up. So I have a mesh for this. Let's give it a mesh. And yeah, ready ring. I'm pretty sure that's the one. Let's see. I'll remove the delay for now so that as soon as I click play, we see it. I did see something over here. And yeah, we're having the same trouble with that we have with meshes that are not properly aligned at export. It's my fault. We just need to give it a 3D minus 90x rotation over here. Now the ring is facing us, and we just need to give it a proper material at the same time. Um, I'll just cheat and get the material property from the other project. All right, I'll work from this one. So I'm duplicating our gathering swirls, and I'll call it Photon Beam Ready Ring 01. I will start by assigning the material. You don't see much, it's okay. And we don't need to use this texture over here. You can click on the select and click none, and now it behaves as if the texture was completely white. And minus 0.41. All right. Yeah, that looks good. And do we need some speed? No, I don't want any speed. What if I put a value of 0? What if I try a different texture? It's gonna be different. Oh, I like this. Let me try some stuff. Yeah, I've already baked some alpha in the mesh. That's why no matter what value I give it to the texture, I don't need to use a mask. Okay, yeah, I should get rid of this random value there. And now I just need to play with this until I'm satisfied. I give it a value of, oh wait, no, 0.2, 0.3. It all looks the same. Okay, I'll just decrease this gradually. Okay, bring it back down like this. Yeah, I like this shape. All right, exactly these values. So 0 in X tiling, 0.77 in Y, and for the offset, X offset 0.18 and Y offset minus 0.23. Or I guess 0.77 would be the same. Yeah, exactly. All right, 0.77, 0.77. Wow, that's I don't know, same numbers, just randomly fell on these values. All right, size over life. It's gonna be shrinking really fast. Let's try this one. You know what? Let's not try anything. I will. Yeah, I can confirm that this is the curve I have in the other project. All right, good. Now our color over life, I'll remove this key. It will start transparent and become opaque as it nearly reaches a single point here. Like this. Boom, boom. All right. Our size is gonna be 3. Lifetime is 0.25. We can put our delay to 2.7 like it was before. And let's double check our settings. Emission just 1. Custom data. Do we need any custom data? I don't think we do. All right. Let's see the whole effect. Yeah. You know what? I'll add a 0.05. Ah, I like it better without. That's it. That's it for this effect. Now you can just picture Serge's hand right here, gathering all that energy, about to do something really cool. So let's click our particle folder over here. Let's drag this down to create a prefab. And if we go back here, it looks pretty much exactly the same as what I did before we started the exercise, which is good. And once again, if you stick around for the last lesson, you will have something that will look like this. All right, so that's it for this part of the tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one. If you like my video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. See ya.